Well, looks like we're back for the AKA podcast. And I've got Javier with me. I am in the AKA closet and I'm selling t shirts today. I mean, you should go online, get some t shirts. You know, they let me back here because the transmission's better than my house. So we've decided to put me in the AKA closet full of t shirts. So if you want one, go to AmericanKickboxingAcademy.com. Just kidding. Anyways, how you doing, Jav? We just had
I'm
lunch.
doing good. Just bring you up to speed. You can't see your AKA in
Okay,
here. Now you can. Okay, there you
there
go.
we go.
Now you're fine.
So I guess the greatest thing that I was just zooming through the MMA news, and of course, you know, you don't talk inside basketball or baseball or MMA in here until you know something solid. But I guess Islam's going to be in the same card as the boys, as Umar and Habib.
Yes, yes, against Andrew Hernandez, I believe,
Yeah,
who's 11-2,
11 and
11-2, 11-2. His he lost to Cowboy, and then he just beat somebody, didn't he?
yeah, he just did. But you know what? I think what's happening here. There, let's try it like that. That looks better. I think what's happening is that you were saying it was hard for him to find a fight. Somebody stepped up, and it's interesting because they have a similar record. They're like both 11-2. He's fighting another 11-2 guy. Now that guy's 11-3. Davi Ramos, who we just fought, is now 11-3. So I guess that's the magic number to find a fight with Islam is 11-2. It's just
Well, I mean, Islam's 18-1, so he's got a heck of a record.
yeah, he's a beast. I can see why people don't want to call him out. I mean, they're trying to. You can't pad, but like, oh well, that's a guarantee to set me back. I mean, when you get set back, right, you go way back.
Well, when you lose to Islam, you do only because of his ranking. He's what, 14th or 15th? You
Hmm.
know, so if you're higher ranked than that, you don't want to fight him. He's too dangerous and not enough of a high ranking. You know, me personally, I think he belongs in the top five, but that's just me. You know, and obviously, you know, we'll see how good he is when he gets there, when he meets a top five guy. But I'm pretty sure he's going to destroy whoever he meets at in the top five.
Yeah, I don't think any of the top five want to become the top seventh, eighth, or ninth. So Islam Makhachev is not a very desirable opponent for some of them. They're just trying to work within the top five to get to the number 1, 2 spot. And
If I'm above him, I sure as hell wouldn't be looking to fight him. It doesn't make sense. Not when you're looking to get to that ranking to get a title shot somewhere down the line, right? Because those are the guys that are going to get title shot. The closer to the ranking, the better chance you get a title shot. So fighting an Islam, if you're in the top five or top 10, doesn't help your cause too much unless you need a fight or the particular fight with Islam is favorable to you, but I don't see how most guys would look at that as a favorable fight for them.
you know, I've had a lot of comments lately, people talking about the Eddie Bravo boogeyman sales pitch. I mean, of course, every coach is going to represent his fighter. You know, Eddie's entertaining, nothing against him, but you know, he's like, you better watch out. We're doing new tricks. And this is what, the third or fourth time that him and Habib are supposed to meet again?
Oh, this is the fifth time they're supposed to meet. So there's no tricks on either side. It's whoever the better man is, it shows up that night. That's who's going to be the winner. And, you know, and of course, we're working to be that person to retain the title and maintain the number one pound for pound fighter ranking in the world. And pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And obviously, it's not going to be an easy fight because if it was, you know, then Tony wouldn't be where he's at. He's a great fighter, and it's going to be a great fight. You know, I don't see how this can be an easy fight for anybody. It's not for us, and it's not for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, you have drilled for this, you know, showdown 5 times. Both guys have. Both guys have. To the point, like, does some of it get lost, or what is there to redial in? It's already in your DNA. You've kind of memorized that code, right?
Well, there's difference. I mean, he's fought since then. We've all fought since then. So we're preparing for a newer version of what we saw last time, and we're not preparing for the same Tony. You know that we were prepared for last time before he got injured. No way. We're preparing for a new Tony because he's fought and he's better. You know, so we are preparing for somebody different. We're not preparing for the same guy. And anybody that thinks otherwise is not really prepared the way they should be. You got to prepare for what's present today, not what was yesterday. So for us to say, well, we prepared for him 4 times, we don't need to do any different. Okay, all right, keep thinking that. No, we're prepared for the new Tony, and he'll be prepared for the new Habib because I don't think they're thinking that either. I think they're thinking very smart. They know there's new problems, that are put in front of us, and we just gotta, some are seen, some are unseen. Same with us. Tony's got seen potential threats, and he's got unseen potential threats. So we got to prepare for all of it.
I mean, that many fights ago, there's new data on Tony because there's new fights, there's new metrics to watch, there's new stuff to analyze and take in and say, okay, and there's only so many movements with the body. So, everybody can talk about, oh, I'm going to bring the dragon punch to the game or something you've never seen. Fantastic. But even Habib, I've watched him in camp. I'm not giving away any secrets, but people have only seen a fraction of what that man's capable of. Only a fraction. And I mean that sincerely.
Well, he keeps improving all the time. He's like I said, his stand up. He only really trains with me on the stand up. And how much time do we really have to spend on the stand up? We only spend, honestly speaking, 3 days a week. We spend probably an hour and a half to 2 hours max. That's what we do. That's it. It's all the time I spend with him. An hour and a half to 2 hours max on stand up. That's it. That's the way it's always been. And he improves, even though I only spend so little time with him. He improves a lot because he still has a lot of improvement to make. He's got a long ways to go. He's not, premier striker just yet, but he's getting there. And, he just keeps better and better all the time. And don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him when he fought Dustin because he's better than that now.
Yeah, he's way better. Definitely. I can attest to that. That's all I can say. No inside secrets here, my friends. But I will say it's been fun watching Umar too, and entertaining the other day when I was filming, and you guys decided to test my footwork and have Umar come launching at me like a Russian missile there. Or was that you? You were using some of your champion level kickboxing footwork to chase me down. I think you cornered my camera pretty well.
That didn't work. We didn't kick your camera out or kick you, so we lost. We tried. We tried to get you. Well, we missed. It's all right.
Hey,
There's other times.
I wonder if this really translates to stunt work, camera specialty, getting in there with the fighters. You gotta be quick. You gotta anticipate. You can get sucked into the screen like somebody driving in their car, looking at their phone, and they drive like they're drunk in traffic. But I noticed that when you're filming fighters, you got to be aware. You're going to know when to move in. You want the shot, but you can shoot from across the room. But if you want the good stuff, you got to get ready to jump and see which direction they're going.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. A lot of times when the guys come in and they want to get inside the cage when the sparring's going on, sometimes I allow them, sometimes I don't. Depends on who's sparring because it's tough for a camera guy to anticipate the move when the guys are shooting. They're shooting all across the room. It's kind of tough to get out of the way. So it all depends on who's sparring, and will I allow some of the network guys to come in here and film inside? I said, otherwise, if it's too risky, I said, no, stay outside. He can't let you go inside. Not with live sparring. Too risky.
Yeah, it takes an awareness. I mean, I wonder if refs have any special training they do to not get run over. Just run.
It's not an easy job being a ref, man. It's not an easy job. Sometimes they screw up royally, just like the fight over this weekend with the Dagestan fighter and the other fighter. There was a big royal screw up by the ref, big royal screw up, and he stopped the fight way too early, premature. The one guy was playing possum, never really got hit with anything, but he acted like he was hurt, but he was striking. And the ref comes and stops the fight. It was like, wow, what the F were you doing, dude? It's like crazy. The unfortunate thing for them is a ref makes a decision. You can't do anything about it. You can protest all you want. Refs are allowed to make decisions. If they're wrong or right, doesn't matter. They're allowed to make those decisions, and we can't correct a judge. A ref's a judgment call. We cannot correct it. So they're gonna file appeal, and they're gonna get denied. That's just the way it is. Sucks because especially places like this that are black and white, like this one is plain as day. that the ref effed up. They should do something, but they won't. So, unfortunately, you're gonna have to take your loss and lost the pay and the whole bit, and maybe next time don't play drunken monkey.
Yeah, that's well, that goes back to like Salim's situation. I was talking to one of his buddies that went and watched that Bellator fight up close and personal. He's like, "What did you think?" And I told him, "You and I both thought that that was a robbery. I felt like he had 2.5 rounds out of three, and if you call, and I'm giving the guy for hanging off his side the extra round. I'm giving the guy, okay, hanging on the guy's side so he can't do anything. You've immobilized him in a way, I guess, but you're not advancing if that's the criteria. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Don't leave it to the judges, like you say.
No, in that case, Salim left it to the judge. That was a bad decision on his part. I thought he clearly won. Look, the decision got booed in Oklahoma, for God's sake. And who's the guy from another country? Salim, and they're applauding him, booing the other guy. Come on, man. The crowd ain't wrong in that situation. They booed the decision right away. But unfortunately, Salim did let it go to the judges when he could have done a lot more to make sure that no one would take that from him. But he didn't do enough. He didn't. He did enough to win on my eyes and everybody else's eyes, except who counted those judges.
That's true. There's another exciting fight coming up. You got Israel Adesanya versus Romero. Um, Israel's convinced he's going to run through the muscle beast. I'm thinking Romero still has a shot. I think that Israel is quicker, but I think Romero's got some crazy moves and some endurance. So it could go either
Yeah,
way.
you can never count Romero out, but it seems like Romero always falls short too. You know, it's not the first title shot he's gone after, if I'm not mistaken. This is his second or third. I'm not sure about that, but he's failed, and I got the feeling that he's going to come up short again. I think Israel's a real deal. I think he's great for the sport. Got the best ring entrance I've ever seen. He's fun to watch, man. I like that guy a lot. I think he's definitely one of my favorites to watch. I became a fan from his last fight with his ring entrance. That's from that point. And everything he says, I think he's very confident in himself, and I think he speaks the truth and what he's able to do and what he's gonna do. And man, I like that guy. I'm a fan. I'm a definite fan of his.
Well, who knows, Hav? I mean, the way things are going, I mean, you liked Bam Bam Tai Tuvasa, and unbeknownst to you, he shows up at the door like a week ago. Hey, I'm here to train, coach. And who knows? What if Israel showed up here?
It's well, Bam Bam. There was a lot of talk between him and DC, so him showing up was no surprise. There was communications that were done through him and DC that allowed this to happen. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. He's a great guy. He's great to have on board here training with the team.
I mean, hypothetically, I'm sure that Israel's happy with what he's doing. It's working. Why change boats in midstream, right?
They
And
got the hottest team going. Why would they change? It's stupid. They got a great thing going over there. They got two champions, and Dan Hooker being another one that's on the rise. No, they got a great thing going over there. Why change? I don't believe in change. If you got something that's not broken, which they do not, why change? Who cares? The grass isn't greener on the other side. They got a great thing going over there. They got their own grass, and the grass is green over there. So stay there, learn, soak it up. Being amongst champions like those guys, you can only bring up everybody that's with you. You don't go pick up your roots and go somewhere else. Well, why? Going somewhere else didn't get you that championship. Staying where you're at did. So I say stay there.
I mean, there's only so many gyms that are producing champions. There's a lot that come and go. You're still here, but there's other places that have come up with great formulas, different weight classes, and different things. But you know, a lot of people come here. I don't know historically because I haven't been here the whole time you've run AKA, but have people come here towards the end or middle of their career when they wanted to change and go at it differently? They had a good run.
Mostly at the end. People try to revive their careers, and it's almost a near impossibility. But it's not impossible. but most of them come at the end. They don't come in the middle, this and that, come basically the end. I prefer people to come through the middle, I mean, the beginning, I'm sorry, not the middle. I would prefer the beginning. That way they're here. They've been here from the get-go. I prefer that. I don't really, because I don't think we're the saviors to anybody, It's kind of like, you either click or you don't, but we can't correct a career. If a career is meant to go wrong, then it's meant to go wrong with you. It isn't the gym that's going to change your career. It's you. It's what you do with it. And I see it too many times. People think that they need to switch gyms because their last fight didn't go, people didn't listen to them, this and that. Well, I think you should probably look at fixing what was at home. And if you can't fix it, then look elsewhere. But if you can, I would think that's your best solution.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to be a negative subject or anything, but like, I remember Luke moved on because he was looking for more guys his size, I guess, and more, what he liked his style of fighting. Is that why he really moved on to Florida?
I don't really know. There was so many things with Luke. It wasn't one thing. It was many things. It was a lot of things. It wasn't that the main guys that are normally for him weren't here. That's true. They weren't. It was other things. It was family things. It was personal things. It was business things. It was a lot of combinations with Luke. And if you know Luke likes to travel. And he likes doing different things. And Luke will always be AKA to me, and he always going to be my boy. So I don't really care where he goes or where he didn't go, or if he stops fighting, or if he continues fighting. That's up to him. I'm a big Luke fan and supporter, and will always be a big Luke fan and supporter. So it doesn't matter to me what Luke does.
Yeah. And another thing, just to segue, I want to bring up another podcast. We were talking about other podcasts that have come out of AKA. We were talking about your Josh Thompson, who's one of your fighters, who's now a broadcaster. He's got a great show, and he does a good job on there. I watch what he's been doing with Big John McCarthy, and you've been telling me you've been enjoying it pretty much.
Yeah. I watch little blitz and here and there. A lot of the Instagram posts, I listen to, and man, those two guys are really good. Both of those guys really good for each other. They feed off each other. I am enjoying their podcast. Both of those guys, extremely knowledgeable and great personalities, in my opinion. And I see them keep improving and getting bigger and bigger, and they're finding a niche for each other, And I enjoy their podcast. It's pretty good.
Well, for me, doing this with you, it's part of what's topical, what's happening in the news. Part of it is what I observe here. You have so many fighters here, so many different countries, so many different perspectives. I mean, we've got Tajikistan, Chechnya, Russia, France, all over the place. There's everybody from everywhere here. But I do want to say to everybody, we're going to cut this one shorter today, and we need 250 more subscribers so we can start taking your fan questions better. So subscribe. And Javier agrees, right, Jav?
No,
No.
they need to sell all those T-shirts right behind you.
Yeah,
buy that's as good as subscriptions. Yeah, buy T-shirts. Go to the website.
Yeah, there's AKA T-shirts. What is it? AmericanKickboxingAcademy.com?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for a good podcast today. We'll have more coming up soon, guys. Have a great day. Subscribe. Follow our channel. Lots of new content with Khabib and his team, and behind the scenes and other fighters. See you guys soon.
See you